Ever wondered how it feels to see the world through the eyes of a psychopath? Now, don't rush to conclusions. We're not going to plan any heists or anything. Today, we're simply peeling back the layers of a certain mindset that has intrigued, baffled, and yes, sometimes terrified humanity for centuries. Let's start with a basic understanding of psychopathy. It's a personality disorder characterized by persistent antisocial behavior, impaired empathy, and bold, disinhibited and egotistical traits. Think Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs or Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. But remember, these are Hollywood renditions. Reality can be much less dramatic. Psychopathy isn't just about violent tendencies or criminal behavior. It's a complex mix of genetic and environmental factors that create a unique and often misunderstood way of perceiving the world. So, buckle up, folks. We're about to dive headfirst into the psychopath's mind. It's going to be a wild ride. Imagine waking up one day and all your morals have gone on a vacation. Well, welcome to a day in the life of a psychopath. What if the internal compass that guides us between right and wrong went on a sabbatical? For psychopaths, this is more or less the norm. They often lack the moral understanding and conscience that most of us take for granted. For instance, picture this. You're at a party and there's only one slice of pizza left. You've been eyeing it, but so has another guest. Most of us would engage in a polite, albeit intense, standoff. But a psychopath, they'd swoop in and snatch it without a second thought. It's not that they're inherently evil, mind you. It's just that they perceive the world differently, like playing a video game with the cheat codes on. Morality, guilt, remorse, these are mere suggestions, not rules. So next time you're feeling guilty about stealing your coworker's sandwich, remember, a psychopath wouldn't bat an eye. Ever done something wrong and felt absolutely no remorse? Congrats! You might share something in common with a psychopath. Now imagine you've just eaten the last slice of your housemate's birthday cake. Most of us would feel a pang of guilt, right? But a psychopath, on the other hand, would simply savor the sweet taste of buttercream and victory with no remorse whatsoever. It's not that they're oblivious. Oh no, they know exactly what they've done. It's just that the moral compass that usually guides our feelings of right and wrong, well, theirs is on a permanent vacation. Like a cat knocking a glass off a table, they're fully aware of their actions but just don't feel bad about it. So next time you're caught red-handed with cake crumbs around your mouth and you feel a rush of guilt, take solace in the fact that this guilt makes you human. So if you're feeling bad about not feeling bad, well, you're definitely not a psychopath. Ever convinced your boss you were working when you were actually watching Netflix? Well, you might have some manipulative skills, but you're no match for a psychopath. You see, psychopaths are masters at manipulation. Imagine a puppeteer controlling a marionette, but in this case, the strings are invisible and the marionette is an unsuspecting human. Psychopaths use an array of tactics to manipulate others. They can be charming, flattering, and even empathetic when it suits their needs. They might tell you exactly what you want to hear, making you feel special and understood. It's like they've got a sixth sense for what makes people tick, and they use this knowledge to their advantage. For instance, consider that guy at the bar who always manages to get a free drink. He's not just smooth, he's probably figured out exactly what to say to the bartender to get what he wants. So next time you're trying to get out of work, remember a psychopath could probably convince the boss they're the boss. Ever thought about skydiving without a parachute? Well, a psychopath might just consider it. Psychopaths have a knack for risk-taking behavior. They're like that friend who, after a couple of drinks, suggests, let's go bungee jumping, but let's use licorice ropes instead of actual cords. Humor aside, this trait can lead to dangerous situations. Psychopaths often find themselves on thin ice because they're drawn to the thrill of the moment rather than considering the potential aftermath. They're the type to challenge a grizzly bear to a wrestling match or try to outswim a shark just for the adrenaline rush. What's fascinating is that this risk-taking isn't just physical, it can be emotional too. They might play Russian roulette with relationships, burning bridges left and right, all for the thrill of the chase. So if you're thinking about jumping off a cliff for fun, remember, you might just be thinking like a psychopath. Ever struggled to decide what to have for dinner, let alone plan your future? Well, you might have something in common with a psychopath. Imagine a surfer riding the wave of the present with no concern for the shore that's rapidly approaching. That's a fairly accurate representation of how psychopaths approach life. They're not ones to meticulously plan their retirement or even what they'll do next week. They're spontaneous, living for the thrill of the moment, often making snap decisions that can leave the rest of us scratching our heads. Picture a psychopath at a buffet. They're not thinking about leaving room for dessert, they're piling their plate high with whatever takes their fancy. But then, when they're full to bursting, they spot the chocolate cake. They didn't plan for this, but do they regret it? No, they just dive right in. So next time you're struggling to plan your future, remember a psychopath probably hasn't even thought about tomorrow. Ever thought about robbing a bank, but the fear of getting caught stopped you? Well, a psychopath wouldn't even worry about this. Picture this. A psychopath walks into a bank, not with a mask, but with a charming smile and a seemingly harmless demeanor. They've got their eyes on the prize, and the idea of consequences doesn't even make them blink. Imagine running a marathon, but you've got no concept of exhaustion. That's a psychopath committing a crime. The finish line is the thrill of the act, not the fear of the aftermath. They're like a child who's just stolen a cookie from the cookie jar, except the cookie is a priceless artifact, and the jar is a heavily guarded museum. They might even treat getting caught as an exciting game of chess, a chance to outwit their opponent. So if you're worried about getting caught, remember a psychopath wouldn't even break a sweat. Ever had a hard time keeping up appearances? Well, for a psychopath, it's all part of the game. They've mastered the art of playing pretend, often wearing a metaphorical mask to blend in seamlessly with society. It's as if they're constantly performing in a grand play, except they're the only ones clued in on the act. Imagine a chameleon changing its colors to match the environment. Now add a dash of charisma and a sprinkle of charm to this chameleon. Voila, you've got yourself a psychopath. Their capacity to mimic emotions and behaviors is truly Oscar-worthy. However, maintaining this pretense can be exhausting. At times the mask slips, revealing the cold, emotionless face beneath. It's like a glitch in the matrix, a momentary lapse that lays bare their true nature. So, next time you're struggling to keep up appearances, remember a psychopath could probably win an Oscar for their performance. Ever charmed your way out of a sticky situation? Well, a psychopath could probably charm a cat out of a tree. Now that's a level of charm we're talking about. These individuals have a knack for making those around them feel special, understood and heard. But here's the kicker, it's not genuine. It's a tool, a ploy, an act of manipulation. Imagine a chameleon blending seamlessly into its surroundings, charming its way through the jungle of life. That's a psychopath for you. They can turn on the charm like a light switch, lighting up a room with their charisma and engaging personality. But remember, it's all smoke and mirrors. They could convince you that the sky is green or that the moon is made of cheese. So next time you're trying to charm someone, remember a psychopath could probably charm their way out of a prison cell. Ever felt like you're running on empty, emotionally speaking? Well, for a psychopath, that's the norm. Imagine a car without fuel, a phone without charge, a party without music. That's a psychopath's emotional landscape, utterly barren. Emotional vacancy in psychopaths is like a desert devoid of rain, a sky without stars, a cinema playing a silent movie on loop. Now consider this, you're in a relationship and your partner forgets your birthday. You're upset, right? A psychopath, on the other hand, would be as unfazed as a cat in a cardboard box. They'd probably forget their own birthday if it wasn't a good excuse for a party. This emotional void affects their relationships profoundly. It's like trying to build a house on sand. You can pile on the bricks of affection and understanding, but without the cement of genuine emotion, it's bound to crumble. So next time you're feeling emotionally drained, remember a psychopath probably doesn't even know what that feels like. Ever felt like you're just a pawn in someone else's game? Well, a psychopath could probably play chess with their eyes closed. They're the ultimate players, masters of manipulation, turning life into a grand game where they're the only ones who know the rules. Imagine you're at a party, you're in a heated debate about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a charming stranger enters the fray, swaying opinions with ease. Before you know it, you're standing there, pineapple pizza slice in hand, wondering how on earth you got here. That's a psychopath at work. They're the puppeteers pulling the strings, the directors calling the shots, the chess grandmasters moving the pieces. They revel in the game, the power, the control. It's not about the pizza, it's about the thrill of the play. So next time you're feeling like a pawn, remember a psychopath is probably the one moving the pieces. Having fun learning about psychopaths? Well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It's as easy as a psychopath faking empathy. And just like them, you'll be in the know, always one step ahead. You'll get all our latest updates, riveting insights, and of course an endless supply of witty banter. So go on, don't be shy. Hit those buttons like they're your unsuspecting victims. Remember, a psychopath would probably hit that subscribe button without a second thought. Ever wondered how it feels to pretend to be someone you're not? Well, for a psychopath, it's just another day at the office. Psychopaths are masters of disguise, often wearing a mask of normalcy to blend in with the crowd. Picture a chameleon, but instead of changing colors, they're swapping personas. They might be the charismatic neighbor who always has a smile on their face, or the charming colleague who's always ready to lend a helping hand. They've perfected the art of imitation, mimicking emotions and behaviors that they don't genuinely feel, just to appear normal. Imagine trying to learn a foreign language without ever hearing it spoken. That's what emotions are to a psychopath. A foreign language they've learned to speak fluently but don't actually understand. But why do they do this? Simple. It's all part of the game. The mask of normalcy allows them to manipulate and control, all while flying under the radar. So next time you're pretending to be normal, remember a psychopath is probably doing it better. So that's it, folks. A quick tour into the mind of a psychopath. We've dived into the abyss of moral absence, unraveled the art of manipulation, and peeled back the mask of normalcy. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've seen how psychopaths navigate the world with no remorse, no regret. It's a chilling perspective, but fascinating nonetheless. Thanks for joining this psychological safari. Remember, we're all a bit mad here, but at least we're not psychopaths. Or are we? Well, that's all we have time for today. Until next time, keep your wits about you. We've had a fascinating journey into the mind of the psychopath, haven't we? If you found this as intriguing as I did, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video far and wide. Let's spread the knowledge. And hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss our upcoming deep dives. And remember, always sleep with one eye open. You never know when a psychopath might be lurking.
Savored this video? Fancy another? Click the on-screen video for an even deeper dive into fresh territory. Your support is like a warm cuppa on a brisk day. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell for the latest content. Cheers for watching.